let me get out of this. So launching the Excel application, you know, right? Launching, starting Excel application, you know. Okay, fine. Anyways, let me close this and start. So I'm going to start Excel now, and I pointed to start menu, and since I have already pinned this application, I'm pointing to this Excel icon. Otherwise, you have to go down to the letter E and find the Excel available there. Give it a click so that you will get Excel application launched. Okay. So here we have Excel application with its home page selected. If you want to create a new workbook, you can click on this, or if you have already worked on different workbooks, we can choose from this list, recent list. So also, if you are working on a particular document again and again, what you can do is, as I told in the previous session, you can pin this. When you hover your mouse over this link, you will see a push pin. You can pin this so that it will be available whether you use any other documents or not. Okay, it doesn't matter. So if you want to see the particular pinned item, you can click on this pinned tab so that this document, the document that you are working with, can be found here. So now we are going to create a new workbook, so that I'm going to click on this new. Okay. So when you click new, you will see this Excel window, the interface identification we did in the previous session. Okay. So no worries about this. Excuse me. So here we have the Excel workbook open with one sheet available. So here we have cells and all. We went through all these identification. And one thing I forgot to remind the previous session is tell me what you want help. Okay. So if you are looking for a command in Excel, you can type here. The command you can type here. So if you are looking for font formatting, you can type font so that you will get the font related stuff from this. Okay. So here, from here, you can choose the font to apply. So font color, font size, different things you can choose from. Or otherwise, find and replace. Okay. Find. So you'll get find command. So no need to browse through these tabs to find a particular command. Table. So inserting a table comes here. Okay. Like this, you can get this functionality from this program using this. Tell me what you want to do by making use of this. So we have started, and then interface identification. I'm checking the list. I'm checking the list I have. So next we want to see is the cursor points. Okay, cursor points. In Excel, you might see the difference of the mouse pointer. Here you see the cursor point, the mouse pointer as a thick plus sign. Okay, thick plus sign. You see that is a usual selection mode. It's selection mode. But the Excel mouse pointer takes different shapes depending on the context. Okay. Let me show you the shapes so that you can see. Otherwise, we can use Excel itself. So when you bring your mouse over this cell, you can see the plus thick plus sign. As we see the thick plus sign here. Okay, this thick plus sign. Bear with me. Don't blame my drawing. It's like this. Okay, almost like this, right? And if you double click on this, if you double click on a cell, automatically the mouse pointer becomes like an I-beam insertion point, right? It's called an I-beam. So the mouse pointer takes a different format here. I-beam, right? It's similar to the MS Word mouse pointer. Okay, so it means the text can be selected, edited, selected like that. Okay, it helps you to select and edit the text. So I'm pressing escape key to cancel the entry. When you bring your mouse over this letter, this mouse pointer returns like a downward looking arrow. Okay, so it is going to help you to select a particular column. If you want to select adjacent columns, that is continuous columns, you can click on this and drag your mouse so that columns are selected. Otherwise, you can click on a particular column and then press and hold the shift key and click on the column until which you want to select, and select click this column header so that those columns are selected. This is for adjacent columns. Adjacent columns mean the continuous columns. So mouse pointer becomes like a downward looking arrow, okay, which means it is a column selector. If you want to select non-adjacent columns, say for example you want to select B, C and then G. So what you can do is you can click and drag up to B, C, and then without clicking anywhere, just press and hold the control key and then go to G and click on G so that non-adjacent columns, non-continuous columns are selected. Similarly, when you bring your mouse to the left side on top of on these row numbers, row headers, these are called row headers, these are called column headers. Row header, the mouse pointer becomes a horizontal arrow. Okay, horizontal arrow. So the same selection can be applied here. So it is when you see your mouse pointer like a horizontal arrow, it means it is capable of selecting the row, right? Row. This is another format of this mouse pointer. So when you bring your mouse pointer over these column header, it becomes a downward looking arrow. When you bring it to the margin, edge of a particular column, it becomes like a double-headed arrow. Okay, double-headed arrow it becomes. It means the column width can be increased or decreased. Okay, it's like a thick double-headed arrow. Okay, you can see I'm very bad at drawing. Okay, so that it means you can increase the width of the column or decrease the width of the column. I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, when you bring the mouse pointer to the edge of a particular row, it becomes a two-headed arrow, double-headed arrow, but it is vertically double-headed, which means the row height can be increased or decreased. For a row, it is height. For a row, it is height. For a column, it is width. Okay. Increase in the width or decrease in the width. Here, increase in the height or decrease in the height. So it becomes a different one here. Okay. Fine. It looks fine. And also, when you bring your mouse to the right hand bottom corner of a particular cell, you see a thick dot here. It is called autofill handle. When you bring your mouse pointer on top of that, it becomes a crosshair, a very thin plus sign. Crosshair, we call it crosshair, very thin plus sign, which means the contents can be filled. Okay, the contents can be filled to the other cells also. Okay, this can be filled vertically, or this contents can be filled horizontally. We will see how this works today, right? That is another point, appearance of this pointer. And say you have entered some text. Now you want to copy it and or move it to another place. Okay. So when you bring your mouse pointer to the border of the cell, it becomes like a four-headed arrow. Okay, four-headed arrow. So it means the contents can be moved. Okay, Four-headed arrow means the contents can be, of the cell can be moved. So let me bring this to the edge of the cell, that is border of the cell. When the mouse pointer becomes a four-headed arrow, click and drag. Right? The contents will be moved. I am pressing Control Z, Control Z to undo the work. I'm pressing and holding my Control key on the keyboard. You see the mouse pointer changes to an arrow with a plus sign, okay? And drag and drop it so that it is duplicated. The content is copied and pasted. It's duplicated. And if you want to see the usual mouse pointer, we can insert something and then check it. Selection mode, okay? Now, if you bring the mouse pointer where we can see object, selecting an object, copy and paste. So working. The usual mouse pointer is an arrow like this is the usual mouse pointer, right? So selection mode, it will work. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you while I work. Okay, I'll remind you. So if we can insert a picture. Still it is showing up. Still it is a four-headed arrow. It means moving. I will show you the traditional mouse pointer while we work. Okay, no worries. So we have seen selection mode, I-beam. We have seen column selector, row selector, and crosshair for autofill, drag and drop, and increase the column width or height, column width, increasing or decreasing row height, and moving with four-headed arrows that we have seen. Okay. Control A and delete. Now comes the working with files, Excel files. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So next we will see how to create a new Excel workbook. Already we saw how to create when we start a new start Excel application. Now we will see how to create a new workbook. I'm going to File and click on New. Okay. When you click on New, the new page comes shows up. So you can choose from the templates that are already available, or you can click on Blank Workbook if you are going to create your workbook from this page. So give it a click so that you will see Book 2. Already we were working with the Book 1. Book 2 has started, right? Has launched, right? So from this you can work. And if you want to close it, bring your mouse to the close button and click close, or you can click on File and close. Both of them will do the same job. But if you have anything here, if you have done some updates to this workbook, when you try to close it, it will prompt you to save the work. I'm going to File and close. It will prompt you to save the work. We have done some changes. Would you like to save? It is showing the default location, that is the documents in the cloud. But I am going to choose a different location here. In my case, I am going to choose from more options from my teaching works. Okay. Here I am going to save it as a practice 1. Okay. Give it a click. Before giving it, I already show you. You can give the file name. It is practice 1 I have given. You can choose the file type. Okay. If you want to work with the Excel version before 2007, you can choose Excel 97 to 2003. But if you have Excel latest version of Excel in all machines, you can choose with you can go with the default Excel workbook. Okay. if you don't have any compatibility issues, say for example, you are working on a project and your friend has Excel 2003 in his machine, old machine, and you have Excel 2010. In those instances, what we have to go for is to go for compatible mode. Okay, but in our case, we are going to stick to the latest one. Fine, and click save so that the work has been saved and closed. If you want to open it, go to File and then click Open. You will see the work file that you worked today is showing up here. These are already pinned items, but here we have today's file, and give it a click so that it will be open. And after making some modifications, if you try to close it, it will again prompt you to save. Okay, so earlier when you click save, it showed you a page, save page, but in this case when you click save, the work already you completed is added to the workbook, and the workbook is closed, right? So that's how it works. And in the case of Excel or any other Office applications, it doesn't matter whether you are pressing Control. The shortcut is Control S. Okay, whether you are pressing the save button for save button or save as or whatever it is. Here you see save and save as. Let me ask you, what is the difference between save and save as? What's the difference between save and save as?
Save means just we are saving that, but save as means we can save in the different format.
Yes, and also it doesn't matter whether you click on save or save as for the first time, both will bring the save as option. Okay, because the work has not been saved anywhere. That's why whether you click on save or save as for the first time, the save as option will be showing to you. Okay, so I'm clicking workbook 3. Now I'm adding some contents, and now I'm going to file and save. So the work I have done, or the update I have done, is added now. But if I click on save as, again it is going to give us the save as option. Okay, so you can save it with a different name, or as you told, different formats. Okay, and if you want to work with a copy of a document, you can first you have to save it under a different name. Say for example, you have a project and you would like to work on with a copy of it. So what you have to do is, once you have opened that, you have to save it in a different name and then work. So in those instances, we use save as. Okay, the shortcut key for save as dialog box is, I think, F12. Okay, if you press F12, automatically the save as dialog box will be appearing. Okay, so closing a workbook, you can click on this close button, or click on file and close, or otherwise you can press Control W. Let me see, Control W. Okay, the shortcut is Control W, so that the workbook is closed, but the Excel application will be opened. Huh? Excel application will be opened. Say here I'm pressing Control W. Excel application is still open, but if I press click on this close button, the Excel application itself is closed. Okay, so that's the difference between this pressing Control W and clicking on this close button. Okay, so now we will see how we can move around Excel worksheet. Let me close this, and the screen is clearly visible, right? Screen is clearly visible, right?
Yes.
So let me show you the navigation options available in Excel. If I press down arrow key, I'm pressing down arrow key. For each press of the key, the active cell, goes down by one cell. Active cell moves down by one cell. If I press up arrow key, for each press, it moves up one cell at a time. If I press the right arrow key, if it moves one cell to the right. If I press left arrow key, it moves one cell to the left. So everybody knows this. If you press enter key, it moves one cell at a time down. This is default, okay? So do you know how to change how it moves when you press enter key? Anyone? So I want to make, if I press enter key, the active cell should move to the next column, not down row, okay? Next column. So if I press enter key, it goes down now. You can see this, right?
Yeah, sir.
If I press shift enter key, it goes up. This is how it behaves by default. But you can configure it in a way that it moves differently. I'm going to file and then choose options. Okay. In the options, I'm going to click on advanced tab. And in the advanced page, you can see after pressing enter, move selection down. That is a default. Okay. You can make it as right also. Sometimes you may be doing some data entry works. So at that time, whenever you press the enter key, you want the cursor to move to the next column, not the next row. So in those instances, what you can do is you can choose the direction. Now I'm clicking OK. If I press enter key now, it moves to the right. If I press shift and enter key, it comes back. That's how it works. So I want to revert back to the default. So file, options, advanced, direction, down. You can configure that others also. I'm choosing down and click OK. Now if I press enter key, it goes down. Shift tab, it goes up. Okay. Now I'm going to press right arrow key. It moves by one column. If I press and hold control and right arrow key, it moves to the last column. Okay, it moves to the last column. Control arrow key. If I press right arrow key, it moves to the right column, one column at a time. If I press and hold control and right arrow key, it moves to the first column. It doesn't matter where the active cell is, but it will move to the first column. Control right arrow key. If I press down arrow key, it moves one row at a time. If I press control and down arrow key, it moves the last row. Correction. If I press down arrow key, it moves one row at a time. And if I press instead of a row, I told column. No? If I press control and down arrow key, it moves to the last row of the worksheet. So it is 1,048,576th row. And if I press control right arrow key, this is the last cell in the worksheet. Okay, 256th column, 1,048,576th row. Okay, that's why it moved. If you want to go to the beginning of this row, if you want to go to the beginning of the row, you just press home key. Home key on the keyboard. It brings the cell to the beginning of the row. Okay, active cell to the beginning, which means A cell column A, right? And if you press control home, it brings to the first column, first cell. Control home, first column, first cell. And don't try to press control enter, it will go to the end of the region. That's the last cell you are working with already, that's why it's moving there. Control home to the first cell, A1, okay, first cell. And if you want to move one screen at a time down, page down key on the keyboard. You see, it was 13 previously, 13 now has become the first row. Here it is showing 25, row 25. I'm pressing page down again. So it moves 26th, 39th, again 52. It depends on your screen. Huh? If your screen is a little bigger, it moves like that. 69, 86, like that it goes. Page up, one screen at a time. Okay. If you press and hold page up, page down. Next, ALT key, Alt key, plus page up, plus page down. One screen to the right. Okay. So ALT page down, one screen to the right. Okay. ALT page up, one screen to the left. But if you have more than one sheets here, let me add more sheets. So here, sheet 1, here sheet 2, here sheet 3, and sheet 4. Okay. So if you want to move to the particular sheet, you can click on this sheet tab. Okay, sheet tab you can click on. But using this control and page down. Okay, I'm pressing control page down. See, control page up, control page up, control page up, control page down. So Alt page down moves one screen to the right. Okay, but control page up and control page down moves one sheet to the right or left. Okay. Any doubts? You have all these commands in your in the document that I shared. Any doubts? Please ask me.
Sir, can you please repeat again?
Yeah. So here we have, let me go to the beginning. If you press your right arrow key, it goes one cell at a time to the right. Left arrow key, it moves one cell to the left for each press of the key. If you press down arrow key, it moves one cell down. If you press up arrow key, it moves one cell up. The active cell moves, in a sense, cursor moves, active cell moves. Okay. And if you press control right arrow key, it goes to the end of the column. Okay, columns. Last column on the worksheet. Not end of the column, last column on the worksheet. If you press control left arrow key, it brings to the first column, right? On the same row. On the same row. Don't forget, on the same row. If you press control down arrow key, it moves to the last row in the worksheet. Last row in the worksheet. If you press control up arrow key, it moves to the first row in the worksheet. Okay. By the way, you have to remember there is no contents in the worksheet. Say for example, now I'm going to press control down arrow key. It moves to the last row in the content area region. Okay. Let's work on this. Now it will be more clear. Now I'm pressing control home, control key and the home key. Now it goes to the first cell, in a sense A1. Okay. Now I'm going to press control key and down arrow key. One time it moves to the last row in the region. This is the region, huh? This is the region. So I'm pressing control down arrow key, last row in the region. If I press the same again, control down arrow key, it goes to the last row in the worksheet. Okay, I'm pressing control up arrow key and then up arrow key, it goes to the first row, first column. If I press control right arrow key, it goes to the last column in the region. If I press the control arrow key again, it moves to the last column in the worksheet. If I press control arrow key, right arrow key, left arrow key, again it moves to the region. It enters into the region. If I press the same key combination again, it moves to the beginning of the column. Okay. If I press end key, okay, with control end, not control end. Here we have last column. Now I'm going to press home key. Okay, home key, correction, home key. It moves to the first column in the same row. First column, beginning of the row. It means beginning of the row. If I press like this, if I press control home, it moves to the beginning of the worksheet. That's the proper word to pronounce. Huh? If I press control, if I press home key, it moves to the beginning of the row. But if I press control home key, it moves to the beginning of the worksheet. Okay. Page down key moves one screen down at a time, and page up key moves one screen at a time. Here we have only 10 rows. That's why it moves 10 rows at a time. Say for example, you have more rows, maybe 15 rows. Let's make it 15 rows. Whenever you press page down, it moves 15 rows, okay, at a time. And ALT key and page down, Alt key page down, one screen to the right at a time. ALT page up key, one screen to the left at a time. ALT key. However, if you press and hold control key and page up key, it moves one sheet at a time. Control and page up key. Control page down to the next, page up to the previous. Okay. And pressing tab key, one cell to the right, tab key. I'm pressing tab key. Shift key plus tab, it reverts back. Enter key down, that's a default one. You can customize it using file, options, and advanced tab, right arrow key, right side. So that whenever you press enter key, now it goes to the right. Okay, I'm reverting back. So while you enter data, okay, while you enter data, it behaves a little differently. Okay. So say for example, now I am going to type some data. Okay, enter some data. So here I would like to save have it as expenditure. I'm pressing tab key. Tab key. January, tab, Feb, tab, March, total. I'm pressing enter key now. You see how it behaves. The beginning of the next row it goes. Okay. Something here, some amount, tab key, and some amount. Now I'm pressing enter key. You see how it behaves. I'm typing the content, pressing tab key, typing some numbers, press tab key, numbers, tab key, numbers, tab key, numbers, and then I'm pressing enter key. That's how it behaves. Okay. Another thing, we have to enter data between these cells. Okay, we have to enter data between these cells, and in this instance, I'm going to configure this direction. Now I'm entering, pressing enter key. Next row, it automatically comes. Okay, that's how it works. Any doubts? Any doubts? So if you want to enter text into the Excel worksheet, you just click and type. Okay, you just click and type. I'm pressing tab key now. Sales, tab key, 8. So if I press enter key, it moves to the right. I want to customize it. Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. So let me enter some data. So here I'm going to say note. Okay. Sales 1,500 in million or so, in whatever, in thousand. So date value, we can give 1/1/2021. I'm pressing enter key. So here you see whether we don't know whether it is January 1st. Let me call it 31st January. Fine, it works. Again, I'm going to enter 1/31/2021. Okay. You see the difference. You see the difference. I mentioned 31st January 2021. It is right aligned. But if I enter 31st January 2021, the format differs. Okay. Again, I'm going to type 31st January 2021. Automatically it detects and aligns to right side. It depends on the regional setting of your computer. When you have installed Windows for the first time, and if you are working with Office application, it might work. This format will be accepted by the computer. Not 31st, it is first, because the format is US format or something else, right? But in our case, in my case, I have formatted like this. You see, region. Set language. Okay. Here, additional settings. Date format. You see, DDMMYYYY. So that's how I have configured mine. By default, it might look like MMDDYY. Okay. So if it is so, the second format that we gave will work. But in my case, I have set up this local to Sri Lankan context. That's why it shows like this. So as you can see from here, when you enter a text value, it aligns to left side. When you enter a number value, it aligns to right side. When you enter a date value, also it aligns to right side. The reason is this date is also a number. Okay, this date is also a number. If you want to see this, you see the format it shows as date. Let's make it as a number. You see, 44,227th day. Okay. Date. Short date. It looks like this. So let me call it 1,900. So this is the first day, because the calendar in this computer starts from the year January 1st, 1900. Okay, that is the first day. So when I say one, let's say two. Okay, let's say two, and format it. So it says 2nd of January 1900. That's why it aligns to the right side. It is number, but the format is date format. It shows, it displays in a number format, in a date format. That's all. Okay. So if I say 31st January 2021, it's fine. So இது எத்தனை 1900 சொன்னா 100 வருஷம் இந்தியால 21 வருஷம் போயிருக்கி அந்த டேட்டை காட்டுமே இது 44,221 நாள் போயிருக்கு. ரைட்டா? Any doubts? I think this is the first time you are looking this, right? Any questions? Any doubts? So I'm entering data, some data. East, south, north, east, south, and west. First 8,800. Maybe 30th September 2021. Let's give 21. Automatically it formats it 21. You see, the width, the height of this is 1950, 19.5, and height of this is 15. So we can make them all equal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all 4 rows and make it bigger and then smaller. 15. Okay. Again 15. So all of them are now 15. No difference. Okay. This is how we enter data. And the other kind of things then comes editing. So say for example, you have mistakenly typed here, instead of 28th February, you have entered 30th September. Okay. So in this instance, we have to edit the contents. If you want to edit the content, what you can do is you can click and write something. That is overwriting. Okay. That is overwriting. I'm undoing it. If you want to edit a particular content, what we have to do is we have to double click so that it becomes editable. When I have this selected, how it is reading here, ready. Okay. Can you see this? Here at the left corner.
Yes, sir, ready.
Ready. Okay. If I double click inside, automatically it changes to edit mode. Okay. Now we can change. Say for example 30th February 2021. But it is wrong. So if you want to cancel this editing work, what you can do is you can press the escape key on the keyboard. Escape key. So the change you made is aborted, cancelled. If you want to edit it again, you can double click, or you can select the cell and press F2 key on the keyboard. F2, function key 2 on the keyboard, so that it becomes editable. Now I'm going to type 28 February, and if you are satisfied with the work, you can press enter key. If you press enter key, after updating the contents, the cursor, the active cell will move down. But if you want to keep the active cell on the same cell, you have to press Control and Enter. So when you press Control Enter, the changes are accepted, and the mouse pointer, the cursor or active cell will not move. It will remain on the same cell. Okay. Any question? If you want to align the column, change the column to fit the content, you can bring the mouse pointer here. You can drag it. Otherwise, drag it to fit, see whether it is fitting or not. Otherwise, what you can do is you can double click on this column header when this mouse pointer looks double-headed arrow. Double click so that it fits to the content. Okay, it fits to the content. And if you want to make all these sizes as equal, you can select these three and move it a little bit so that they become equal. See, here it is 10.14, 10.14. Here also 10.14 the width. Okay, 76 pixel. So next, any doubts?
No, sir.
Fine. So if you want to copy the content, it is a usual command, Control C and Control V. But there is a slight difference in this Excel application. That is, you select them. Okay, selecting means you can click and drag and select. That is one. Otherwise, with this active cell within the region, press Control A so that the region is selected. Let's see, I'm pressing Control A once, region selected, again Control A, entire worksheet will be selected. Okay, you see, with the cell within the region, this is the region, this is the region, with the cell inside the region, press Control A to select the region. Okay, and if you want to select the entire worksheet, press Control A again so that entire worksheet will be selected, and you will see the worksheet selector is switching to green color. If you want to select the worksheet with one Control A, with this cursor outside, press Control A so that entire worksheet will be selected. That is another option. Another easy option is clicking on this sheet selector so that entire sheet will be selected. You see, sheet selector is here. Okay, so if I press Control A, it is selected. Now I am going to click on copy button here. Okay, copy button. You see moving ants. The moving ants, moving ants they call it. Okay, you see moving ants, which means the content is available for pasting. Okay, I'm clicking somewhere and pressing this paste button. Okay. Excuse me. Again, I can press paste button. But if I press escape key, the moving ants have disappeared. Also, this paste button also disabled. I can't paste now. While this is moving only, I can paste. That's the difference. But in the case of Word and other applications, it's not so. Okay. Fine. So while it is moving, I'm switching to sheet 2 and I'm going to paste. So here you see this error symbol, which means the width is not enough. So I'm double clicking so that the width is adjusted. Okay. Let's press escape key and I'm going to select this. I'm clicking, pressing and holding Control key and dragging it. It is also making a duplicate. Okay, I'm undoing it. Press and hold Control key. Bring the mouse pointer on the edge of this so that it becomes an arrow key. As I told you, this is the arrow key plus with the plus sign. Click and drag and drop so that a duplicate is made. Now I'm going to show you different thing. Okay, I'm bringing the mouse to the border. Instead of pressing left arrow key, left mouse button, I'm pressing right mouse button. Now I'm pressing and holding right mouse button. So you see an arrow key, arrow mouse pointer. This is the mouse pointer I was telling previously. This is the usual mouse pointer, simple arrow. Okay, I'm dragging and now I'm dropping. Okay, you see different options: move, copy values, formats, and so on. I'm going to move it. So it is similar to cut and paste. Move here, it's moved. Okay. Give me a second. My daughter is crying. Okay, I'm back. Daughter is kulika போறாங்க அவையலான்னு சொல்றேன். Okay, fine. So that's how we copy and paste, and the other one is I'm undoing it. Cut and paste, it means moving. Cut here with the scissors and click on the place where you want to move it, and then click on paste so that the contents will be moved. I'm undoing it. Okay, I'm undoing it. Select the region, press escape key, select the region, Control X on the keyboard. Again, click here, Control V. That's the same thing that we do. Okay. So while we work with this, we will get to see different types of pasting. Okay. Say for example, copy, and while pasting, we will see different options. On and off, we will see. Okay, during the post we will see. Okay, so deleting the contents, you can just press select the cells that you want to delete and then press delete key on the keyboard so that the contents will be removed. However, if you have some formats applied, when you, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So when you have some formats applied, if you press this delete key, the contents will be erased, but the formatting will still remain. Okay. So in those instances, rather than pressing this delete key, we can select and go to the clear command in the editing group. Then you have different options, right? So clear formats, clear contents. If you are given any comments here, you can clear them. If you have any hyperlinks, you can clear them. Okay. Comments, in a sense, we can give comments. We can give a comment. This is half month sale. Okay. We can have a comment. So if you hover your mouse over here, the comment will be showing. And also you can give a hyperlink, Control K, just HTTP. Okay, we can give a hyperlink so that when you bring your mouse, it becomes a pointing hand. If you click it, it goes to the website or a link page link. So these hyperlinks also can be cleared. I'm deleting it, control key. But whenever I add some content, this comment has not disappeared, and the hyperlink has also not disappeared. So the pressing the control delete key on the keyboard is not the right option. So what we have to do is we have to select the content, go to the clear command in the editing group, and from this command you can choose clear formats, clears the format. I'm undoing it. Clear contents, contents clear only. I'm undoing it. If you want to get rid of everything, clear all. Okay, everything removed. So that is the way to clear the contents. Okay, so we can continue with the next of the balance part from the next class, because at 8 o'clock I have another class. So shall we wind up? Any questions? Please ask me.